This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Montreal. They have fight night. Billy Joe Saunders versus David Lemieux. I'm joined by Kell Brook. What's happening, Kell?
It's cold here, isn't it? It's cold.
How cold is it, seriously?
I've never felt temperature like this. It feels like...
You can't explain it to anyone, can you? You have to feel it.
When I go out, it's that knives are cutting you. Freezing, -13. Yeah, it's fight day. You know, I seen Billy. I tried to keep out of his way because it's time to relax now, keep as calm as possible, get the fuel in, and just get yourself ready for, you know, a few hours time.
How has Billy settled into the Ingle gym over the last few months? Because it was quite a dramatic change for Billy to sort of uproot from down south to come up to Sheffield and be around you lot.
It fits in unbelievably. It's like home away from home. We've had a great time over here in Toronto. You know, the first couple of weeks. He's been very relaxed. I've been watching him spar, watching him train. He's been very sharp. You know, he's been listening to everything. You know, what Dominic's had to say or what I've had to say, what little pointers here and there. He's took everything on board. He's very focused in this fight, and he's going to need to be, because Lemieux is no joke.
Absolutely. Obviously, there's been some debate about whether David Lemieux is the biggest puncher that Billy Joe Saunders would have been in the ring with. Some people counter that with Andy Lee, but there's no doubt about it. Lemieux can bang.
Lemieux can bang. Andy Lee, the big puncher. But I've seen Billy get punched full on in sparring, and believe you me, can take a shot very well. You know, but you don't want to be taking shots. Lemieux, the big puncher, you know, he's got to be switched on from round 1 to round 12 if it goes that long. He's got to be thinking all the way through the fight. He's got to be so sharp. You know, he's got to take this fight unbelievably seriously, like he's never took a fight that serious before.
Touchwood, Billy Joe comes through tonight, and one of the fights he's chasing for 2018 is a fighter that he's been linked with for the last year and a half. Your old opponent, Mr. Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. How do you think someone like Billy Joe would fare against someone like Golovkin, Kell?
I think he'd be the right opponent to beat someone like Triple G. You know, because he's a southpaw. He's very awkward. He's very smart. You know, Billy Joe. You know that to use the ring. Unbelievable. He's he's a very talented fighter. You know, even before he come to our gym, I've always said that when we're talking about, you know, every time there's a big fight and at the weekend and we come back, you know, start training the next day, we always, you know, talk about, you know, certain fights. Every time Billy's been fighting when he weren't with us, we've always given him so much credit, and his ring craft is, you know, very good. You know, he's a very good fighter, and I think, you know, I'd fancy him. You know, I don't know if I'd fancy him to win. You know, Golovkin's a very big puncher, and you know, he's a very good fighter. You know, he knows how to cut the ring down well. He knows how to punch very hard, and his name stands for it. You know, he goes out there and just, you know, he gets the job done. We know that. You know, but if anyone could beat him, it'd be someone like Billy Joe with a movement. You know, he's a natural middleweight, and you know, I think he'd give him problems, definitely. But
before you can think about the likes of Canelo and Golovkin, he has got a job to do tonight. His first time kind of fighting over the pond, America, Canada, but that's not going to faze someone like Billy Joe. He's going to go there and hopefully put on a show.
Yeah, like I said, he's been relaxed. You know, we've been here for like nearly 3 weeks now. He's been relaxed all the way through. You know, he's probably got a bit grouchy because of the diet, but you know, that comes with it. You know, making weight. But yeah, he's been very relaxed. It's going to be a ring at the end of the day, and it's Lemieux versus Saunders. So, you know, I think it doesn't matter where it were. He's a traveller anyway, so he's going to get in there and do what he'd do if he were at home or wherever.
Coming on to you now, Kell. Obviously, about a week ago, it was announced that you'll return to action on the 3rd of March at the Sheffield Arena against Rabchenko.
Yeah.
When we spoke a few weeks ago, you said you was unsure of whether you would be fighting again at 147 or 154. You are going to be fighting at 154 now.
Yeah. Well, for this fight, for sure. Yeah. You know, I've had quite a 6 month off, so you know, there'd be no point me boxing at 147. There's no world title on the line. You know, I think, and I'm big, so I think that 154 is going to be more suited for me. I'm looking forward to having plenty in the tank, and I'm looking forward to to the new weight and seeing how I perform with the extra £7 and also not getting weighed twice. You know, the next day the £10 limit. That's been a big problem. You know, since I've boxed and held the IBF world title. So I'm looking forward to getting weighed in and not getting weighed in again. And I'm just looking forward to performing in front of my own fans in Sheffield. So I'm excited. They mentioned different opponents to me, and Robchenko stood out. You know, he's a very dangerous fighter, and I probably took that fight. I think the fans would have probably let me off fighting someone lesser than Robchenko, but I wanted to fight him because Christmas is here and everything. I don't want to. I've got to take him very seriously. I can't take the foot off the gas. I can't cut corners. I think it'd be you got to be professional, but with a lesser opponent, I could have maybe had a bit of a Christmas and stuff. But with this guy, I've got to take him seriously. You know, he's boxed at a high level. You know, he's been European champion. He's boxed very good fighters. You know, he beat a guy from my neck of woods in Ryan Rhodes.
Yeah.
You know, and so on Ryan Rhodes, I look at Ryan Rhodes. Ryan Rhodes is he's boxed Canelo. He's challenged for world titles, Ryan Rhodes, and for him to get stopped by Robchenko, you know, Robchenko's got to be a very good fighter. So I took that fight to to test myself, you know, in the new weight.
Are you not ruling out fighting at 147 again then?
I'm not ruling it out.
No.
Not ruling it out. You know, I think a solid training camp with Billy Joe, you know, as you know, potential sparring partner. And what it is, you know, when I'm watching him and when I'm telling him things to do in sparring and stuff, I can tell he's listening to me because, you know, he's got a lot of respect for me and vice versa. You know, both champions, and I think we're going to push each other when we're in training camps together. You know, I think, you know, with the right frame of mind and, you know, the perfect diet and the perfect camp, you know, I think I can get back down to 147, you know, for obviously the right opponent.
Is it yet to be seen, if to be seen at all, how much those defeats to Golovkin and Errol Spence may have taken out of you?
You know, I think we're going to find out. You know, I'm not used to losing. I've had two losses in a row. My first two losses, you know, the first one I obviously jumped up from welterweight to middleweight against the most feared man in world boxing. You know, so you can't really take that as a loss, really. It was a loss, but it wasn't in my weight category. Losing to Spence, a different kettle of fish. I lost at welterweight. You know, I got in the eyes. The other eye got, you know, I smashed the other eye in, and I lost my world title, and it really hurt me bad. It really hurt me bad. It took me a long time to get over that. You know, it hurt me. It hurt me losing that world title at home. But I know that I've got lots left, and people say, what's he going to be like? You know, he's had two losses, he had both his eyes smashed in. Is he going to be the same fighter? I believe I am going to be the same fighter, and I believe I'm going to be a better fighter you know, and I'm hoping with moving up in weight that, you know, it brings the best out of me. We can only know and find out until I've fought. But you know, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to trying the new weight out, and I'm looking forward to this new camp.
And I'm assuming with conversations you've had with Eddie that, you know, the plan is to get to a position where you're challenging for a world title and win the world title at 154.
Absolutely. You know, I want to be a two-time world champion. You know, I've never been satisfied with just winning one world title. Even as a young teenager, I've always thought and wanted that to go out there and win weights in welterweight, light middleweight, all the way up as I grow. That's what I wanted as a teenager, as a young fighter, and so I want to be at least two-time world champion. I want to get this fight out of the way, and then I want to be calling, the guys with the belts in light middleweight. I just, me, KUGAN, I just want to be involved in the biggest fights where everybody's talking about. I love the interest in me and Golovkin, and even me and Spence saying, the hardcore boxing fans what know about boxing know that Spence was the next big thing, out of America, and nobody believed that I'd fight Golovkin and come back down from middleweight back down to welterweight to defend the world title, in Sheffield. So I just love, I love beating the odds. I love getting in there, and I just love performing. The feeling I get when I walk out and hear all of the lights and packed out arenas and performing in front of dedicated fans is amazing for me. That's my drug. That's my buzz. So I'm just looking forward to getting back in and getting back in and doing a job.
Of all the fights you can have potentially either at welter or at light middle, is the biggest fight you can still have with Khan? Is that still the fight, biggest wise, that?
I think so. I'm just thinking now. I still think it's the biggest fight out there.
Name wise for you?
Name wise, definitely. I think it has to happen. It's still relevant. It's still. Everybody still keeps asking about it, and it'd be a fight that I'd be more up for that than anything. Because it's been talked about for years, and I just want to get in and beat him up, and just because he's never given me any respect. He's always slagging me down. At least I've given him credit. He's a good fighter. He's got speed. He's good. I give him respect. He's never really given me no respect. So it's not nice. I know, and people around me what know me knows that I will absolutely knock him clean out.
It seems like
What do you think? Come on.
What do I think about what?
What do you think? It's getting boring.
Do you know what? I was talking to Johnny Nelson about this, and I don't mind saying it to you.
What's the problem? Where's he going to go? Who's he going to fight? Thurman, Spence over there? It's high risk, low reward. The money's not going to be in it. What he's going to be getting for fighting me, and they're very dangerous, young, hungry fighters. We're all dangerous at this elite level. So why not get in with someone who's same age as him, who's had started his career at the same time. We've been world champion. We've had our fights. We've been through the mill. And we've still got something to prove. And you're gonna earn the most money you've earned in any one of his fights what he's had so far. So it don't make sense for him not to fight me.
I was just saying that, Kell, that I was interviewing Johnny Nelson around a month ago, and he said, he made a point that I kind of see where he's coming from with this. That for the last sort of 3 years, everything Khan's kind of said for you to, not that you're doing it because Khan's saying for you to do it, you've done it for your own career, but win a world title, gunfight, a name, and these kind of things, which you've kind of done now.
He's heard it, and it's been going on from even before the Matthew Atten fight and stuff. Fight him and this and that, and I've gone out and done. Obviously, it was gonna get done anyway, But everything he said, I've gone and done. Won world titles, jumped up in weights. I've done everything, what's being asked from me, from the fight, from everything. I've been world champion with the biggest names in world boxing. So it's time. We're on the third trimester of his career, and we're ready to battle it out.
One thing I personally don't believe that Khan is afraid to fight you. I don't know whether you look at it like that, but I mean, we look at who Khan has been in with.
I don't know though, because people, he'd been in with Canelo, I've been in with Golovkin, and I would be nervous, and I'd have that factor against it, even though he's nothing a patch on Golovkin, just because we're both from Britain, and is that
the fear of losing? Is it the fear of losing rather than
I'm petrified of the fear of losing to him.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'd be able to walk the streets of England anymore.
Really?
Really. So that's how much pressure I'm putting on.
But people shouldn't get that mixed up with you or Khan saying that you're afraid to fight him. It's
things get talked. I don't know if I don't think he can't be scared of fighting me, vice versa. But because he's been in with with some good names in Madonna and Canelo, and he's if it makes sense he'll get in and fight. But I think it's the fear of how much slagging he's given me, and for me to smash him in and him walk the street, he won't be able to walk the street. I think he'd had problems in his private life, and that's been bad, I think. But I think this would take the biscuit, this one, me beating him.
Is it a case of if it doesn't happen in 2018, I think we're finally in a phase where it probably won't happen then?
100%.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen in 2018, because I'll be honest with you now, I don't want to be carrying on for years and years, and I want to listen to me family around me, get out at the right time. I don't want to be fighting for years and years, and this, cause it's stressing me out, this fight with him. I think I'm putting it to, if it doesn't happen next year, it's never ever going to happen.
Do you and Eddie still talk about this fight? Is it still something that you two discuss?
We don't, we don't really talk about it too much. If it gets mentioned, it gets mentioned. But to be honest with you, it's been on and off, and yourself. It's been
followed the journey for the last 6 years.
Yeah, the journey.
The Brook Khan.
It's not relevant, is it?
I mean, you can only really compare it to the Hatton-Witter situation, and they didn't fight.
Yeah, they didn't fight, but not taking anything away from Junior Witter, but Ricky Hatton, Junior Witter didn't really have that. With me, I'm relevant. Khan's relevant. I think I've passed him out as in the boxing world. I've got more respect for him.
Did you watch him in the jungle in the end?
To be honest with you, I didn't know.
It was very entertaining, I must say.
A lot of people have, phoned me and told me about it and said, people have actually said, I'd probably get on, outside of boxing, forgetting boxing, as people. He's down to earth kind of thing. But to be honest with you, I didn't really catch it. I didn't catch it. I've been here. I've been training. I've just not caught up with it. I did plan on watching it, but I never got around to it.
He couldn't really handle the snakes in there.
I seen the clip, the first one.
But somebody told me that
you start laughing and saying
no, but somebody told me that yeah,
I'd be worse than him. I'd be screaming like a girl worse than him. Yeah, I'm not good with that, with them snakes and spiders and that kind of thing. Trust me.
I'll take your word for it. But listen, he's obviously decided to do that. He hasn't done his profile any harm whatsoever. So we're assuming he'll resume his boxing career next year. So we'll see what happens. Simple.
We'll see. We'll see. What's today is not always what's going to be tomorrow. We never know.
You never know. You could get up in the morning and get that call. Never know.
Never know.
Did you watch Rigondeaux Lomachenko?
I did.
What did you make of it all?
Very disappointed, in the way that, Rigondeaux quit. He quit, as a fighter. I've seen little things. I think people saying about with me quitting and stuff. It makes me laugh because, for me to say he went out there and he quit Rigondeaux with saying he's under and stuff like this. With me, saying that I quit and it's completely different. I've had cut eyes, I've had swollen eyes, broken hands in fights, and carried on. But when your eye go with the injury I had, you know, and it's not that you can see out of one eye, you're all right, but when you're either cross-eyed and it's completely, it probably completely messes you after you don't know what's coming up, you don't know what's coming when you're either cross-eyed and you know, it's terrible, you know. But like I said, Ragondao I thought that he'd put a much better fight up than he did, you know, but Lamchenko would have different class to him, you know. I think even if Ragondao would have carried on, you know, I think the only one winning that was Lamchenko in that fight. What did you think to it? I thought it'd be more competitive.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an anti-climax,
yeah,
if that's the right expression for this. Was expecting a little bit more, and listen, it's all right for me standing here behind the camera to say, oh, you know, he shouldn't have did this and that. I'm not going to say that. Whatever happened, but yeah, as
we
a
wanted
fight
to
in
see
general,
more. We wanted more from Ragondao. We wanted more. He kept holding him. Lamchenko were at this. Sometimes was trying to get out and have a fight, you know. He was grabbing him and he was really holding on, and it was just getting messy, and he didn't want to be there, you know. He didn't want to be there.
Has it been discussed, a fight with Sam Eggington to you? Has that been discussed?
Yeah, his name got mentioned. I think that I went, why not? You know, I said, you know, why not? I've heard that he was going to move up to 154. His opportunity to be in a big fight, you know, against me would have been, I think it would have sold well, the Savage, you know, because I like watching him fight. He's entertaining. He's a come forward fighter. It would have been, I think it would have done good numbers. It would have sold very well, but I don't know, for whatever reason he didn't, you know, he didn't want to take the fight. I don't know the reason, because I thought, you know, I think he'd fight anyone, you know. Maybe his team behind him have said no, but it didn't happen. It's not happened. I'm not fighting him.
You've kind of, not from your side, but from Frank Warren's side, always been...
Warren?
Yeah, Frank Warren's side, always been mentioned the fight with Liam Smith.
Yeah.
They've always kind of made it quite clear that that's a fight that they would fancy for Liam Smith. Liam Smith looks like he'll fight Saddam Ali, who beat Cotto a couple of weeks ago. But, I mean, that could be interesting if he fights Saddam Ali and he has a version of the world title.
Very interesting. You know, the next fight's at 154, and that's the weight Liam Smith is. You know, so like I said, what today's not always what's going to be tomorrow. That fight, you know, down the line can happen. Would the fans want to see that fight? You know, we're gonna, you know, after this goes out today, me and you talking. Let's see what the comments. Let's see if people want to see me fight Liam Smith. You know, I know that he'd fight me, no problem at all. He'd take the fight, and everybody knows that I'm willing to fight anybody.
If there's a world title on the line, I mean, it's a no-brainer, that one then, surely.
No-brainer. You might see me and Liam Smith in the ring together.
Be very interesting. What did you make of DeGale's defeat last weekend?
It weren't nice to see. You know, it weren't nice to see. I actually watched it with Billy, you know, and I think me and Billy said that, you know, as he come, he says that, you know, his trainer, you know, trains him really hard. As he overtrained for this fight, as he come to this fight too quick from his injury and rushed it, you know, because rethinking, if they pick this fight thinking it's just going to be routine, get a few quid before Christmas, and you know, thinking like many fighters, it's happened before where they look past an opponent and they get found out. You know, you don't know what the reason is about. You know, that weren't DeGale in there that night. You know, lost to the guy.
Disappointing to see if the rematch happens now. I believe there is a rematch clause after a lot of...
I don't know what I've heard. I don't know if there's a rematch clause.
I think Frank Warren said, well, I know Frank Warren said to me yesterday that there is a rematch clause, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that.
We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if Al Ayman's got both fights. I don't know what's going to happen. This is boxing, innit? So, but I hope he does fight him again. I hope that he does win that world title back.
Okay, well...
So what else do you want to ask me while we're here, brother?
Well, is there anything you want to get off your chest? Anything, anything that's aggravating you in the sport right now?
Is there anything? I don't know. Have we covered for now? There's going to be more interviews like this in the build-up to my next fight. But
obviously,
I'm just thinking, is there anything we can, while we're here now, is there what else we can? You know, it's funny having Tyson here. It's funny having Tyson here and everything what's been going off with him and lately. And
sparred Kid Galahad yesterday.
Sparred Galahad. Sparred Amir Khan.
Yeah.
The original Amir Khan, aka Killer.
Yeah.
Who's out here? You know, chief coach, second to Dom. He's out here.
But it's good that we're getting, like I said, Tyson Fury back in the ring at some point next year.
You know, I think what's his next move going to be? What promoters are going to go with? Who's going to train him? What's happening in Tyson's head? Does he know what's happening in his own head? We don't know.
What do you reckon, Joshua Tyson?
Honestly, you know, styles make fights. I think Tyson fit on point is at his best. You know, I think he beats him. I think Tyson Fury beats Anthony Joshua. You know, I think Anthony Joshua for the sport is unbelievable. I think him as a man and the size of him in great shape and how he, you know, carries himself is unbelievable. He can punch through, you know, through walls. You know, the fight he had with Klitschko were, you know, best heavyweight fight I've seen in many years. But the Gypsy King, I think styles make fights. I think styles do make fights, and I think with his movement, Tyson, and everything else, I think that he's got the beating of Anthony Joshua. But I think if you put, there's still some good fights there. There's Wilder, you know. There's Ortiz. You've got to put Dylan White in the mix, you know.
Tony Bellew in there somewhere.
Tony Bellew, you know, he's a very entertaining fighter, and believe you me, he can punch very hard. You know, he's got the height. You know, so don't look past Tony Bellew. You know, he's not the biggest heavyweight, but he can punch very hard like an heavyweight. So there are some great names in the mix, some good characters, you know, in the build-up and, you know, everything else. So 2018 is going to be very interesting in many of the divisions.
It certainly will be. Right, listen.
How many minutes are we on?
Nearly half an hour.
I hope we can get some good views, because you said to me that the longer you're on camera, the better views you get.
Generally, more people seem to watch it when there's, you know.
Yeah, so now I'm going to go back to the room, get my shit together, and start looking to head towards the arena and get Billy Joe focused and ready to hold on to the world title.
Okay. Yeah, we're just literally hours away, so I'm going to go and get this interview out now before Billy Joe's fight, otherwise it's not going to make any sense.
Yeah.
It needs to go out now. And yeah, we'll catch up before your return on
Absolutely.
the 3rd of March. Do you know what would have been a really good idea? If they'd like thrown you in the jungle.
I know. People were saying that, yeah, it would have been good.
You know, there was a bit in there, obviously, I don't know if you wouldn't have seen it if you didn't really watch it. There was a bit in there where there was like members of the family that went in there.
Imagine him seeing my face there.
But I think that would have been good to have just stuck you in there.
It would have been good TV.
Great TV. I don't think Amir would have been too impressed. But, yeah.
Could have had it there.
In the jungle.
Yeah. That's where I'm from, the jungle. King Kong.
All right. Well, listen, like I said, what you just said, what is today may not necessarily be tomorrow, so I think that's what you said.
Yep.
Kell Brook, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and yeah, let's go and have it for Team Saunders.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.